Hey, all cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile is here, and welcome to the premiere of Oscar Rewind 2024 edition. This series of videos where I revisit films that reflect the work of this past year's Oscars winners and nominees. My hope with these videos is that you will discover a new, older favorite, or maybe rediscover a film that you forgot about that you haven't seen in a while. As always, as is my brand, I will be discussing awards history, box office information. I'm now going to talk about critical ratings. And also, my reviews, as always, will be spoiler free. First up, I'd be remiss if I didn't kick off with the Best Picture and Best Director winner, Christopher Nolan, who finally added two Oscars to his shelf after almost 30 years in film, winning both for his roles as director and producer of Oppenheimer, which in total took home 7 of the 13 Oscars it was nominated for. We're going to jump off Oscar Rewind with Nolan's debut feature film, which is Momentum Pictures' Following. Now, after performing at some film festivals, the film had its official theatrical release in 1999 throughout various markets. And during this theatrical run, according to Box Office Mojo, the film made $48,482 at the domestic box office and $77,570 at the international box office for a grand total of $126,052. Nowhere near the box office we're used to seeing with this filmmaker, but we all have our starts somewhere. Additionally, and I bring this up now, as I said, with this series, this film critically had an 84% critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes and an 85% audience score. Personally, for me, I believe that both of these track. And for a first effort, this film definitely showed the audience who Christopher Nolan was as a filmmaker, and his work only got better from here. Now, for following, Christopher Nolan won 5 awards at various festivals as local in the States as Rhode Island and California, and as far overseas as France and Rotterdam. Additionally, it was nominated for Best Achievement in Production at the British Independent Film Awards. Only 2 short years later would his sophomore film Memento be one of the talks of the town, getting 2 Oscar nominations, including his first for original screenplay. Following is the story of a young man, literally credited as young man, although he will introduce himself simply as Bill, played by Jeremy Theobald, in the first of 3 Nolan appearances, as we will see him pop up again in Batman Begins and Tenet. Bill is a writer who is looking for inspiration. Now, to get this, he will just walk around the streets of London and follow people. He explains that he has certain rules to follow, such as never follow the same person twice, especially if you learn where they live or work. Don't follow a person for too long, and don't follow women after dark. However, with one individual, he gets caught. Having followed this man to a coffee shop, the man comes over and asks Bill what he's doing. Bill tries to get out of it, but to no avail. Introducing himself as Cobb, he invites Bill to come with him. You want to follow me? Let's go. So Bill, now breaking his rules, goes with Cobb and learns that Cobb is a thief who breaks into homes and likes to take things, drink other people's wines, mess up their home. And he explains that he likes doing this because it forces his victims to reconsider things. He literally says, "You take it away and show them what they had." Donning a new visage and name, Bill becomes Cobb's protege, excited by this new life, and adapts the name of Daniel Lloyd based on a credit card that Cobb gives him. Bill, now embroiled in his new criminal world, begins to explore all this can be. And as he embarks, he will also end up in a relationship with a woman credited solely as the Blonde, who was one of his previous theft victims. As Bill's world turns upside down, he will become entangled with a small time, low level gangster, the Blonde, and Cobb in a complicated web where not everything may be as it appears to be. Now, similar to a trope that Nolan uses regularly, this story is not linear. He jumps between 3 time periods. The conversation Bill is having about the events that have happened to, well, to avoid spoilers, I won't say who he's talking to, but I will say that this is where Nolan kept it in the family and cast his uncle, actor John Nolan, who also appeared in Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, and Dunkirk, who plays, we'll call him Bill's priest, for lack of a better term. Then we have the timeline of Bill's initial meeting and training with Cobb, and then Under the Guise of Daniel is the third one. Now, in this film's brief 70 minutes, we intercut between these three time frames to see this story and all that happens. His small cast keeps you very engaged in this rapidly moving tale that I almost wish had been a little longer. Now, in addition to Theobald as Bill, the blonde is played with a 1940s esque femme fatale energy by Lucy Russell, and Cobb is played by Alex Haw in his only acting credit as per IMDb. This is disappointing because his performance is engaging and there's no other work to see for him. Now, when the film comes to its conclusion, you are both satisfied and disappointed because, as I said, you almost want to know a little bit more. Unlike many of his other films that have much longer run times, this film felt that it could have been. But even in that short time, it still tells its morality tale, and you have to wonder if Bill had followed his rules, would he have gotten into quite as deep? And it's interesting, if you bring Cobb's quote back, you take it away and show them what they had. Bill had his old life taken away. Now, stylistically, Nolan crafts a neo-noir that is shot in gorgeous 16 millimeter black and white, evoking much that feel of Kevin Smith's Clerks. I mean, it doesn't look stunning, it's very grainy and simple, but the composition and the story that he's capturing, the various domiciles and streets in London, this style works. Nolan did his own cinematography on this, and he very clearly captures the underbelly side of his subjects. In all, Following is a unique film to watch and will definitely have you asking questions, especially about the ending. Again, non-linear, but stick with it. All mostly will be solved by the end. So, Oscar Rewind 2024 edition starts out strong with a 4-star review. Yes, 4 out of 5 stars for Christopher Nolan's Following. Now, as of this posting, if you would like to catch this film, it is streaming exclusively on AMC Plus. So there you go. First episode of Oscar Rewind 2024 is in the can. See you again in a few days. Again, these will be popping up twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from now till we get ready for the next Oscar season. So you'll be following me for most of 2024 as I rewind and go back to some classic films. Hope you all enjoyed. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel and spread the word. We still have so much cinematic goodness left to come. Let me know how you feel in the comments, and you never know. I may reach out and have one of you, my loyal subscribers, choose which film I'm going to critique. Do you have a favorite film of Robert Downey Jr. or Emma Stone? Do you love one that you want to see me review that was written by Wes Anderson or Alexander Payne? Not only might I let you pick it, I might invite you to come and review it with me. You can follow me on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. Happy watching, everyone, and until next time, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.